Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to ShadowZone. Happy Sunday, and most importantly, happy Easter. I am your ghost host with the most, Brian James, and we have an awesome show for you tonight. Well, this morning, I should say. Yes, this morning. I'm not used to this yet. It's usually 7 o'clock my time. But we do have Chris Reed from Girls Ghost Hunters tonight. I went on her page. I've been on her page all week checking out everything she's done and her team, and it is just downright phenomenal. But before we get to Christina, I want to let everybody know that if you're tired of Facebook and you're a paranormal investigator or love the paranormal, then I suggest you go to the Parapost Network. You can download it for free from the Google Play Store. Runs on Apple, iOS. It runs on Android. It runs on tablets, computers, laptops, you name it, it runs it. And hey, if you don't want the app, then just go to parapost.net and start your account today. And we're already getting comments here. Matt Barron, happy Easter, everyone. Happy Easter to you too, Mr. Paranormal Consultant. We love you, buddy. Well, without any further ado, let's see if we can catch her picking her nose or something. I'm awaiting. Oh, maybe. Oh, we got her. Chris Reed, welcome to Shadow Zone. How you doing today?
Great. I have a really good morning. Happy Easter, everybody, and God bless.
Happy Easter to you too, most definitely. Matt Barron says much love back. Ghosting Paranormal GP, happy Easter. You too, guys. You too. So, Chris, I mean, we had ourselves an extensive conversation within 15 minutes. I feel like I've known you for years.
Well, thank you. It was fun. I wanted to keep going, but we can keep going now. But
And Joe Dennis Smith says, "Hey, girlfriend." Brian Horton
hey,
says, "What's up? What's up,
JoJo
Mr.
girl.
Horton?"
Oh, Brian,
So,
you would love JoJo. She's a great woman and a great character. You would love her.
oh heck, send her the link. The more, the merrier. So, I gotta know, Chris. I mean, well, I already know, but we gotta let our fans know here. So you guys have had a lot of successful investigations. You're a psychic medium. When did all this take place? What got you into our lovely field that we call the paranormal world?
Well, Brian, basically, what we talked about for a little bit, it started when I was 4 years old. I lived off of Cedar and Longfellow in Minneapolis. I had a imaginary friend that was not a very nice spirit. Started out nice, as they normally do, but it turned out to be a bad entity. It got worse after my sister was born, um, and she would end up with scratches on her. And then I would start sleeping in her crib to protect her. We had books flying off the shelf. We had things missing. As the list goes on, when you got a haunting, you're gonna have those things. But it wasn't long after that. We weren't there long, and we ended up moving. So I do believe my parents were understanding that there was something more going on than just normal kid play, because they thought I was doing it. Then they realized I wasn't doing it. So as the story goes, then I think they just realized we needed to leave the house.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah.
When you're sleeping in the crib with your sister, I mean, to try to protect her from something you can't see, was there anything special that you would do to try to protect your sister?
Some of us are born with strong energy. Some of them not so strong. And I do believe God always has that impact on us. When we're born, when we're young, we have that strong energy. And I just think when God guides us, no matter what age it is, I think that was the ultimate strength. God does so much for us, and we got to step back and really look at that's what was happening here. And I hold that in my heart daily, even if everything I do in my daily things every day. God is with me. So then, but like I said, I think God gives us all a plan when we're dealing with certain energies and gifts that is given us to when we're younger. Um, our strengths get stronger, our abilities get stronger on down the road. It took me a while to understand what I was going through till I started reading and started getting to know my abilities. I'm still learning. I'm still learning everything every day. I have wonderful, wonderful friends that guide me and let me understand what's going on. And when I have a question, I have run to people. And having a network going on like you and lots of other paranormal people out there that are in depth and learning and researching, I get to ask them questions to give me the answers I need.
Right. Speaking of the Parapost network that I brought up before I brought you on, we actually have the creator of the Parapost network in our chat watching today. Brian J. Laverty says, "Yo yo, happy Easter." Well, happy Easter to you too, brother. And if you talk to Mr. Laverty, he has the Parapost Network Central. It's a Facebook page. And with him, he loves having investigations and podcasts brought on that show on his channel.
Okay.
So if you guys broadcast your investigations live, that would be a place to do it at.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
I like that idea.
And along with, the abilities, we never fully understand what we're capable of.
Yeah.
As a child, we see and hear things that nobody can see because of, the mind is so fragile.
Yes.
And I think as we get older, we kind of lose that sense of ability to see things and, really grasp what's going on.
Yep.
And it really kind of sucks. I would love to be able to see a spirit and just be like, "Hey, dude, come here, come have a chat with me. Here's a microphone. Let's do some Jerry Springer shit."
Well, I got to see that one spirit that really got me more involved when I was with my first husband. We lived in a little house and we were just engaged at the time. And all of a sudden, I was sleeping on my left side and I sleep with my arm like dangling on the bed. And all of a sudden, it was something like grabbed my arm and started me pulling me down to the floor. Well, when I looked to the floor, there was the Grim Reaper. He had the hoodie, he had the green eyes, not red eyes, he had green eyes. And he was pulling me so hard, my fiance at the time could not get me back up on the bed. It took him everything, all of his power to get me up out of back off the floor. And then it was probably about 2 to 3 weeks later, I woke up and he was standing at the end of my bed. And I'm like, what is going on? I mean, am I going to die? What is going on? There was nothing about the house I could find with any deaths or anything around the area that was evil. So I don't know where this stemmed from, but then I learned later on in my life with this man, he was not a good man. And I think it was more for him. But the Grim Reaper is not always about death either. It's about change. So I don't know if that was a sign that I needed change or there was a change coming, but that evil presence was because of the man I was with. So later on down the road, I figured that out. But
I
so
mean, that's got to be terrifying, I mean, to actually see the Grim Reaper himself, and you're sitting there, I'm sure thinking to yourself, I'm gonna die. He's gonna pull me down. We're gonna go, to the underworld. I mean, I purple Twinkies would have came out of me if I would have saw the Grim Reaper staring me in the eyeballs.
I hear you.
Angela says, "Good afternoon, everyone." Hi, Chris.
Hi, honey. That's
So,
another my girls in Baudette. So that's JoJo and Angela. They're from Baudette, Minnesota. They're actually my adopted team. So when my team can't go out, I grab those two ladies and yeah,
Well,
so the trip.
Angela, JoJo, you want to come on the show? She knows how to get a hold of me. Let me know. Always looking for guests.
Oh boy, you better have a case of beer for that one.
Oh, they wait till I debut Parathrashed for that one. So, I mean, so you've seen the Grim Reaper. You protected your sister when she was younger. And what was in between? What did you do in between those segments to really decide you want to be in the paranormal world? You want to be an investigator.
Well, I guess after the Grim Reaper episode, I started just I think it was like a couple years after that. Things started hitting me in a weird way. It was like I'd hear voices and I thought I was going loony. Then I realized I wasn't going loony. I ran into a wonderful lady down in Minneapolis, and um, her name is Lisa Smith. I She was down, and she was like one of these store owners, but she was like from a head shop, I guess is a good word. And I started talking to her, and she goes, "You're not crazy." And then she gave me this book to read, and it was called Miracles. And in the thing, it stated it wasn't just about God and miracles, it was bringing out dimensions and God and our spirits and what voices were all about, and seeing things and reading things, and the whole 9 yards. There was a little bit of everything in there, which after that, then I just got a Polaroid camera, just started taking
Ooh,
pictures, and I started seeing what I was hearing. And that got me more excited. So it just developed into, okay, now I got to get a recorder. And I used my phone for a while. And that's when you actually just had the phone. And then we got a little bit more advanced and we got the smartphone. But um, using that tool, I could hear actually was on that recording, and it wasn't my imagination. And the more I got it, the more I got excited. Then I started buying a little bit more, and but my aggression uh, for this, I was in a car accident um, in St. Francis, Minnesota, and I wasn't drinking. I was none of that, and my car rolled, and I walked out of there with just a sprained ankle when I should have died. I should have lost my
wow.
legs. I should have. The car was just mangled. Um, but after that, it was weird because my abilities became tenfold. I really started reading people. I could really start feeling people. Um, the only bad thing is that when you're in a crowd and everybody is angry and they're frustrated, I started feeling that, and I started feeling angry and frustrated for no reason. But then I had to learn why was that happening, because of the abilities that I started developing more got so strong. I had to learn how to control that.
Wow. You are a lot alike. Like with me, I don't know if it's an ability or what, but I can meet somebody, just
Mhm.
a random person walking down the road, and I can talk to this person, and I'll know within the first minute or two if he's a good-hearted soul
Yeah,
or if I need to walk away.
yeah,
And like with the people close to me, I can sense emotion, and then I'll start feeling that emotion. And if it's
yep,
that emotion, it's to the point to where I gotta walk away. I gotta get out of here.
yep,
Otherwise,
definitely.
I'm gonna explode. And I've never been able to explain what that is exactly.
Yeah, it's well, you have a flow of energy, and which you're like an open door, and I explain myself as that. I'm an open door. And when we are talking about that special ability, hang on a second. I'm getting must be getting some kind of company back here. I'm hearing noises.
You know,
Yeah, but
I've been
it's
picking up on
okay.
that. I thought you had like a couple kids back there playing or something. I've heard knocks and laughter so far.
No, there's nobody here, but I do have little friends that like to stop in once in a while.
As long as they're not little green men, you're good to go.
No, I don't. No, I haven't seen any aliens yet. Thank God. Um, but yeah, I consider like an open door. I welcome all spirits. I just want to talk. I told my husband that I said, this is me. When I met him, I said, I'll try to cut him out as much as I can and not bring my feelings so much in the house. But he will come out and he'll say, honey, you really need to sage the house because I was hearing a little puppy whine in the bedroom again, and we have no puppy at the time. And this ain't the first time we've gotten puppies and little kids. We have had people actually, I think it's been 3 weeks now. Our sauna and our sun shower turned on by itself. It takes 3 steps to turn that on. You got to turn a knob, another knob, and a button. And that turned on. And then again at 2:58 in the morning, my dog laid her whole body on top of me to wake me up, and it was on. And it was, you can even see the shower. It was that hot in there. And there's, again, you have to do all those steps to turn that on. And I woke up my husband. He said, unplug that, because we were thinking maybe complete computer glitch. But then the following night, my computer turned on and started playing recordings from Doc's Harbor we just got done doing.
Oh wow! So you got a ghost that wants to sit in the sauna. You got a ghost that wants to help you go over evidence.
And it's not a bad entity. I think it's my dad because he's such a joker and he passed. So I consider that's probably who it is. So, but then again, the shower thing was sort of a little unnerving because I told it that go to bed, leave, we're sleeping, go to bed. You got to confront every spirit like a human being. So, but back to the open door thing, it's, you know, when you're very intuitive, we bring in things into our heart, and I think spirits that know that get attracted to that, and I think that opens up our emotions to where, yes, I can walk in a room with people and know how they're feeling, and if it's really bad, I won't stay in the room long. I'll go outside, have a cigarette, I'll go do what I got to do to not be around that emotional status.
The way it was explained to me was by Reverend Patience, very wise woman. I believe she's in Minnesota too. She explained it to me as your third eye is open, kind of like what you were saying, an open door.
Yeah.
And what happens is when we have that ability, we're everybody has a natural light about them, the spirits, right?
Yep.
But with our lights are like beacons. They're kind of like a lighthouse light. They go around the room, and the spirits that are attracted to that will come just full force right at us.
Yes.
And it's a crazy thing. I have captured so much evidence, when it's just me instead of my old team.
Yep.
We break off into sections, and everywhere I would go, I would capture something.
Yes, and
like when we first started the SGC about 8.5 years ago, we're no longer together. But we started out with 3 flip phones and a flash. And we went into the most haunted residential house I've ever done to date. And the first time we're there, we captured this little girl humming.
Oh.
Well, the guy's a skeptic. The wife believed, and it's the little girl being tormented. She's being yanked out of bed by her feet, blankets torn off. So I play this back for him. And I'll be darned if both of their faces didn't go completely sheet white because that little girl's humming was the same tune that the mother had been humming for 2 weeks and didn't know where she picked it up from.
Oh, wow. Amazing. That is so amazing. And I think my team is wonderful. We're learning all the time. But like you said, that I have one team member that is so neutral. She doesn't get the feelings like the rest of us do, which is nice because she's more of our skeptic person. And you got to have that. You got to have a skeptic in your team because it's you get the right feedback then. And then we have another member, she's so excited to just she engages, and but she gets like more of that tingly feeling sometimes. So that's when if she's getting that, I want to go up and I want to see what I'm feeling and what she felt when she went up there. I want to see what's happening if I go up there. And once I was sitting like Doc's Harbor, we just got done. I went up there and all of a sudden the interaction started happening with the flux. So I called my team member and I said, somebody's here. I said, I need another member up here. Okay, because we like to we don't falsify anything. We like to back our stories up. And like I said, I am not computer savvy enough to crop or cheat or make anything unreal. We don't do that. That's so wrong in this profession. And so when we were up there, that's when we started getting a little bit more interaction. And we were up there for a while, started hearing some more noises, and we decided, well, okay, we need to go downstairs and make a new plan and decide what we're going to do. And hi, Ange. So then when we went back downstairs, we made a plan and we was downstairs just talking and stuff. And we went back upstairs with the SLS. Well, once we got up there, we got a person sitting in the chair and he started waving at us when we asked. And then we went into the master bedroom. We got, I'm just going to say a man and a woman because it was the master bedroom of Dr. Hughes, which was a veterinarian. And you could see a person on each side of the bed getting ready for bed. And then all of a sudden you could see like one person was laying like pillows propped up in your body in that shape. So that was really cool. We'll have all that evidence on our webpage, Girl Ghost Hunters, on Facebook next week. So I don't know if you want to see a little clip of it. I can show you if you like, or
that would be a sneak peek would be radical.
Sneak peekies.
Raymond wants to know: are there FA running around your house?
Is there FA?
FAE.
What's FAE?
Raymond, I think you have a typo there, brother. Angela says 3 flip phones and a flashlight. Sounds like a song.
Hey, make one up for me, Angel. I'll sing it for you.
Yeah, if you make me a heavy metal version to it, I used to be in a heavy metal band. I'll happily sing for it.
We're gonna have to make a song now.
Oh,
so yeah. I'm gonna try to show you this. It's pretty shiny in here, so let me shut a curtain. Maybe that'll help here.
All right, I'll play the elevator music while you're gone.
Okay. Well, you're in a rock band. You should do it.
Dun 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 dun. dun.
Okay, maybe this will help a little bit. So, okay, I'm trying here. It's hard when you got to work in reverse.
Right.
Well, you can see up here a little bit.
Yeah.
So damn shiny. Sorry, guys. But this is the entity that was upstairs. It's still. I'm going to play it here. I got fat fingers. So.
I know how you feel.
There we go. Oh, it sucks. I can't get it off. Non-shine. Sorry. I'm going to blind y'all. Let me try something else here. If I can. I'm going to turn me around here. But I'm going to bring the bed factor here because that one's a little bit more amazing. Okay.
And you know, we say the more amazing, the better.
So I don't know if you guys are gonna see this or not. Tell me when you can see it.
Um, yeah,
It's too shiny.
right there. We got it right there. Leave it
Okay.
right there. Perfect.
Okay. So you can see that they were getting ready for bed or something, but it was their house and very
Yep,
cool. I've
there's one
never,
on the left. There
yeah,
was one on the right.
yeah. I tried to back up enough to get them both in there. There we
Oh,
go.
there we go. There we go. We got both of them in there. Holy crap!
Isn't that just kick?
Wow.
And they were getting more sociable with us the more the night went on, and then our Phasma box was amazing. Um, they, like I said, what one of our investigators got locked out of the house, and so we and Tony were sitting at the table, and we hear the knocking, and we're like, "Where's Jody?" Well, here she got locked out of the house. None of us touched the lock on the door. It's an old door, so you gotta really crank on the lock to even lock it. So we knew it wasn't none of us because we remember doing that. And so then we let her in, and we did a Phasma box session, and we Jody goes, "Well, I hope you didn't get locked out like I did." And all of a sudden, our Phasma box blew up in laughter. So we know we had some little characters playing with her that night. So it was so cool.
My question is with the in the master bedroom. I mean, you capture what could be the master and the mistress, husband, wife, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
Do you believe that you caught intelligence, or could that be residual energy from just something they were so used to doing at that particular time?
And I so agree with you there with the residual. It's just, but I think there's a little bit of both there because when we were asking if you'd wave in when I play the whole thing on our page, we did ask, would you wave? And it waved. So I'm more to the intelligent side of it. Again, the same gentleman or female that was in the first picture. Same thing. It was communicating with us, and they were having a ball. I had the most fun. We were laughing. They were bringing up names. Andy Tappan was one of the friends of Dr. Hughes, and they brought that up in the Phasma box without even us asking about it. So they were asking sort of questions back at us, and which was so cool. Then we started even laughing more because it was like we had family in the living room with us, and that was what I live for. I love those moments when spirits just need to talk or they want to send a message. And we always, as paranormal investigators, should always remember some people are stuck. So we always got to say a prayer and ask them if they would like to move on. You don't make them move on. That's their choice if they want to go or not. And so we try to do that at the end of the night. So we ask God to open the doors and windows to heaven, and if these people would like to leave, they have a chance, and we always give them that love and peace, and we before we leave. Every investigator should do that.
Hey, a lot of investigators will go into an investigation thinking the worst, because a client will just get you so jacked up with what they say.
Hmm.
And I mean, your investigation, it sounded like you guys made some great communication. You guys had a great time. They were communicating back and forth. And it almost felt like to me a warm family gathering is what I'm getting from this.
Yeah.
I for one cannot wait to see this evidence. I want to see the whole investigation.
Yes.
My question is for the people that don't know that are watching, what is a phasm box?
A Phasma box, you can actually download it through the Play Store, but it does cost a little bit of money to do it, but it's well worth it. It's like a spirit box, but it has more scanning ability, and you're not getting the interference like you do with the spirit box. Um, Sometimes you get that iffy radio thing, and you don't really want to. It's so hard to judge sometimes.
Mhm.
This, uh, the voices that come out of here are more impressive. They stand out more. If they say a sentence, it's right there. One question we asked, I can't remember what it is now. I don't got my sheet in front of me, but it absolutely said, "No one is home now," and it was so perfect sentence, bright and beautiful. Um, and when you pick up those, sentences like that, that is the best and fun, and you get to ride with that sentence. You get to ask more questions from that, and that's why I like the Phasma box. There is a upgrade to the Phasma box where it actually will type out the words or the sentence. I haven't gotten the ability to do that one yet, but I really like to do that one. It's more like a Ovilus style kind of. You're
Are are you a little worried though? I mean, with it being on a phone that it has the capability of listening in, recording conversation,
uh,
and just randomly popping up, with
oh, I
what
get
they
you.
know.
No, this is on our laptop. And then, so
Mhm.
we do have special securities on this laptop we only use for ghost hunting. So there is no, um, you don't need no Wi-Fi. You don't need nothing. So it's all on the laptop. So you're not getting that interference.
That that actually validates the Phasma box right there.
Yep.
If you don't need Wi-Fi, it's pretty much like a dead device.
Yep. Yep.
And if you're getting communication out of that, you're absolutely right. It's exactly like an obelisk.
Yep. And
Very well done.
we have, we have like, I know a lot of investigators out there like me. We're looking at, we got like $4,000 of equipment. We are in it to show the best evidence we can. And
Beautiful.
we're in it. We're in it for gold. We have met some wonderful people. If you guys get a chance to go to Minnesota, the Calumet Inn in Pipestone is an amazing hotel. I was laying in bed one night. Something was screaming in my ear like a witch for a good 5 to 10 minutes. I couldn't even move. Oh, did I lose you?
Oh no, sorry. I just turn my camera off when I move around.
Okay.
That way I don't make people seasick.
Oh, okay. And then we had a ghost cat that was in our room that would sleep in our bed. We had a gentleman play with the toilet uh, flusher in our room. We had orbs in our room. We had multiple things in our room there. Go. Another one is all my friends in Sock Center, the Palmer House. I love you guys. That's just an extended family, and that hotel is amazing. You have to go there too. Um, and all my ghost buddies, I want to get a shout out to. We have Northern Paranormal. We have things that go bump. Greg Bakken, I'm sure you know him. He does Spirit Box Radio. Very good with the Spirit Box. He's amazing. Um, and there's so many out there that are good. But there's so many out there that are not. So we got to watch out for the knots.
And see, that's the problem with the paranormal world today is, a lot of people are out there that want to be united, that want to stand side by side with other teams that are just, wanting to prove the existence of the paranormal and show the best evidence they can.
Yeah.
And then you get these little territorial jackasses that don't want to share their evidence, don't want to share their locations, want to work on their own, and it makes you wonder, what are they hiding?
Yeah,
Are those the
and
little ones going on the
that's
YouTube faking all their evidence just to get millions of views?
nah, that's not right. I don't even put my stuff on YouTube for that factor. Um, I want people to see what we're really about only on our page. Um, like I said, we are not hiding anything. I don't have the capability or the knowledge to even fake any of that. And we let people judge for themselves. Is it an orb? Is it a bug? Is it a shadow? I mean, we do go and debunk a lot of stuff. We have been into houses that, we actually went into one house where we saved the people's lives because they were having nasty dreams and they were scared and they were seeing things, hearing things. We went in there and we just walked around and did an EMF reading, and we went to the back bedroom, and the EMF went off like crazy. Well, I followed it and I actually felt the wall and it was hot. I mean, it was hot. And I'm like, what is going on here? I said, can you pull your bed away from the wall? And here they had a surge protector and too many things plugged in it. But I think they had bad wiring because the wall was so hot, it was going to start on fire. I mean, eventually. So we debunked what they were feeling, what they were saying, because the EMFs were just making them crazy. It was off the scale. So I mean, it's stuff like that that we can save people's lives doing what we do too.
And that that's one of the things I respect most about your team. I've done a lot of research on you guys. Like I do before every podcast, and man, the evidence you guys have shown is absolutely amazing. And the one I want to talk about the most is the most recent one you guys posted, and that was the amazing SLS footage that you guys got at this church.
Oh
Please,
yes.
please tell the fans and everybody watching about this church.
The church was, I do believe, I'm gonna get the date wrong because I could pull it up, but it's a church that was moved to this area, and I think it was in the 50s when they moved this church, and they put it in this special spot. And what I'm saying, it is so special. It is buried in the woods, and you need somebody to guide you to get to this place. It's so beautiful. We did some fundraising through the Femme Fatale, and we raised money so we can keep repairing it and keep it where it's at. And there's baby graves out there. There's other, people out there from the past that are there, and we respect that. The first time we went in there, I'm going to go to the SLS here in a little bit. The first night that we investigated, it was me, Tony, and Jody, and we were just setting up our stuff, and all of a sudden, it sounded like a man with big, heavy boots just walked into the church and started walking towards me. We were in such shock, and we didn't have enough equipment to get that, but we did, and it's on our page, Penchurin, and you can hear the boots just getting closer and closer. And I do believe after our second investigation, we started figuring it's probably a pastor, a minister, or somebody that cared about the church enough to keep an eye on it. So that's where the craving to go back again went. And then that's when I went with JoJo and Angela and Dee. And the SLS was so attracted, this person was so attracted to JoJo. It would like sit on her, and we were just thinking it's her, but then all of a sudden it started moving. Then it started climbing the pews, and then it would wave at us. Everything we asked, it was communicating. We had another one that was like climbing the wall, and then we had it was so cool because even the SLS doesn't even begin to show you what all happened in that church. And the other part was when we left to investigate outside, all hell broke loose. It was people were moving furniture. You could hear a ton of people shuffling around. It was just super crazy fun. And when we did the evidence and seen that, we're like, yeah. And So I recommend there are so many places in Minnesota that haven't even been searched or researched. So we got plenty places yet to hit. Um, we have a old hospital in Roseville, Minnesota called the Buds Hospital, and I'm still trying to convince these people that I would just want to get in there and do a nice thing, not going with malice, going with love and light. And so we're really trying hard to get into that place. But just our woods alone and the history of War Road, with the war between the natives and the traders, it was a bloodbath. The river was blood. It was just total bloodbath here. But we do not only have great most of the time investigations, but we did find one house that was not so nice. If you can see on our webpage, Girl Ghost Hunters, you'll see a picture and there's two red glowing eyes. There was nobody in the picture. There was no reflection. We tried to debunk it. We did everything we could. We even put a EMF there, but you could see the person, you could see the EMF, everything. And then the following day, my husband, we were outside and I'm in shorts and goes, "Who bit you in the leg?" And I'm like, "What?" And then sure enough, I look at my leg and I was bit in the back of my right side of my back side of my leg. And it was more of a child bite. It wasn't like a man bite. It was more of a child bite. And there was no children. I didn't even feel it. But I did see it the next day when my husband showed me that somebody bit me in the leg. And so we had to instruct this person that this is what we need to do because with that investigation, we found out he put a lot of native artifacts back in a room in storage and box. And I do believe through that other evidence, that stuff needed to come back out. He needed to sage it and he needed to put a bowl of fruit and vegetables and cedar and pine and say, "Hey, we're sorry we did that," because something negative came out of when he put that native stuff away. So everything went good after a while. And then he ended up selling his house, I do believe. But um, hopefully everything went well after that. But we had to go back to more than one house to clear it. And we do that too. So
And it definitely takes more than one investigation to determine what's in that house. Because I mean, if you think about it, you walk into a house and these spirits notice you. They're going to be kind of standoffish. They're going to be a little nervous. They don't know who you are. They don't know you from Adam.
yes.
They could run and hide, and you're not going to capture anything for 2 or 3 investigations until they get to see what you're about and what you're there for.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that's frustrating about being a paranormal investigator. Is you want to help these people, but yet the spirits are shy, or they just come out and like bite you. Now, when you get bit and you got bit, I mean, your husband showed. I mean, what was your feeling on that? Was there rage? What went through your head when you noticed
Oh my God. I was so excited. I
that?
know this is weird, people, but when you get
Spoken like a
actual,
true paranormal investigator.
oh my God, I was like, I got bad. I gotta get on the phone, tell my crew, and then like a dumbass, I forgot to take a picture of it because I was so excited. I'm like, oh cool, okay, this. But then we had to make a plan and we all got together and we did a cleansing session amongst us and it wasn't long after that. Well, no, yeah, I think it was like maybe a couple months after that. Then I did a full cleaning of my house because I kept getting some really negative stuff that came in. So, but it happens. We're always susceptible to bringing something home with us, and we always got to take care of our saging, our grounding. People listen to your 20-year experience people. I mean, they have so much knowledge and so much spirit and so much connection to Susan Wordley. Very awesome woman. Um, she's just a really in-depth psychic medium, just wonderful. Um, she teaches how to look at people's auras, and how to look at your own, and which is so creative. And then, but with that, it's like I think, like you said, that communicating and keep going in more than once and getting to know the spirits that live there, you get greater evidence, you get greater communication eventually.
Absolutely. Hoffern Paranormal says, "Hi, Brian. What's up, guys? If you get a chance, check them out. They're fantastic."
Yeah.
Another shout out I'd like to give PD Regional Paranormal. They're our boys from North Carolina.
Mm.
Absolutely phenomenal. David Marshall says, "Hi, Brian and everyone. How you doing, David?" Jojo says, "It was great." And Angela says, "That's awesome." You
I love
know,
those girls.
from getting to know you and your team, I think I speak for all of Global when I say, you guys are the epitome of true paranormal investigators.
Thank you.
You walk in with love and light. You don't go in demanding. You're not disrespectful. You're there to help your clients. And most importantly, you like to have fun while you do it.
Oh yeah, you have to.
That's the most important thing. You can't go in taunting these things and
Mhm.
expect great results.
Right, right. And I mean, an hour just flies by, so quick. But I love the world and that what we do. And I sometimes my favorite saying is I get along better with dead people than I do live people. But if we all just sat and all thought about that, 99% of the investigations you're going to run in with great spirits, but yeah, you're going to have that percentage that beware where you're going to. I mean, if you have 20 people saying they've been injured in a home, don't go there. That means there's not a good spirit there. And if you are not educated enough, you are going to get bit. And be careful out there.
Absolutely. And, we are reaching the hour mark, but I don't know how you feel about going another half hour.
Oh, I'll still talk.
Yeah. All right. You've heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. Shadow Zone goes for an hour and a half today.
So,
So you're in the church and you hear these boot steps and they're getting closer and closer. I mean, what did that bring out in you? Was it anxiety? Was it the thrill of the hunt? I mean, how were you and your team feeling at that moment when it happened?
oh, the thrill. We weren't expecting that to happen because at that time my team was, new, just getting together. And we've been together for maybe 5 years now, more with Jody, and then Tony came later. Um, but I would say between 4 or 5 years now. And so we were all still, learning and getting to know each other, which was when they got that experience for the first time, we were all thrilled and excited. And you got to take it that way. Don't be afraid of it, because if they're willing to walk up to you and figure out who you are right away, you're going to run with it. Just be nice, because they're willing to talk. And that's how I look at it. And um, the amazing thing is, I think that when you greet yourself and bring your name up every time and who you are, and they recognize that, they will recognize. I swear to God, they recognize who you are. And that's probably our second investigation where everything just got more fun and more exciting. Along with that second investigation at Penchurin, us ladies were out by the baby graves, and you cannot get phone reception out there. You can't get radio. You can't get nothing. We had the spirit box out by the cemetery, and all of a sudden, a minister started speaking on the spirit box. I'm not kidding. There was a man speaking like he was up on a pew and started talking. And Angela and Jojo, they'll they'll recognize this. All of a sudden, it started playing church music, and we all stopped, and the hairs on our arms were so high. I've never ever seen that happen before. And those ladies, that was their first time. And so it was so exciting to see the look on their face and mine. But it was so amazing that something so loud and so proud came through that was religion. That just makes my heart uh, so wonderful, because there was something wonderful with light and love that was with us on that time. Oh, I got so teared up with that one. But, I liked it that we had somebody looking out for us.
Absolutely. Joe,
I'm such a softie.
Joe says, great job, both of you. Rock on. And whoop whoop, because we're going an extra half hour. Andrew says, yay, Brian. Nice to meet you. You as well. Chris, see you guys soon. Got to go to work. Love you guys. Oh, you sweetheart. Well, we love you too.
Love you guys.
Joe says, that was nuts. Troy Dolly says, hi.
Troy.
Angela says, yep. Hi, Troy. And you're beautiful, sunshine.
Oh, you are too, girl.
So you've been together 5 long years. That, me and the SGC, we were together 8 years until I closed down the SGC for personal reasons. We won't get into that. Well, might as well. I did everything in the damn team. But that's right before I switched to Global United Paranormal Foundation.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what, best switch I ever made.
Awesome.
So what was your first investigation as a cohesive unit?
Well, I do believe that Penshurn was our most intuitive investigation with all 3 girls. We did go out to Winter Silo, like I said, and that's where we got the banshee noise. But I do believe for a really first great investigation, Penshurn was our first big ride.
Nice.
But it was sort of funny because Jody was a friend of mine, and I said, how would you like to go to the Paracon in Monoman? Oh, that sounds good. And then Tony came with us to the Paracon, and it opened the world to what was really going on. They had ghost hunters, and they had so many what are they called, the she squatches. They have done Red Lake up here. Very awesome people, and the talking, and it opened up their eyes to a lot of wow. And then that's when we ran into more of the people with the Palmer House and the guest house, the Boyd House. So many places here in Minnesota. Look them up, man. If you want to ride, there are so many places in Duluth. Beautiful territory. If you're ever on vacation and you want some fun, God, come our way. We have so much to show you up here.
It's funny you mentioned that because Global's doing investigative events. It's kind of how people usually pay money to do tours, right?
Yeah.
Well, with us, they're paying to do an actual 8-hour investigation with us.
Yeah.
And all the money we make, we put back into our company. Yeah. And we're going to start touring the U.S.
Oh, sweet.
And as it just happened, Minnesota is on our list.
Well, guess where you want to come?
Oh, we're coming to your house to pick you up and the rest of your team, and we're going to go have some fun.
That sounds like a plan. I'm in, man. You'll have a ball up here, and we're a bunch of rednecks, so be careful with that.
Oh, my type of people. I may be born in a city, but I'm redneck at heart. That's for sure.
Get you, because we'll. I mean, would you guys be coming in camper or bus? And just
we'll probably just be driving our vehicles and trying to find a haunted hotel to stay in for a few days.
Okay. Well, there's a couple on the way up here, because if you go through North Dakota, go through Deadwood. That whole town is pretty much haunted.
Nice.
So if you ever make it up there, that's another great place to be. There's Belle Fouché, South Dakota. There used to be another town called Minnesota. If research it, Minnesota, the Walleye Inn room. Oh yeah, 201 and 202. Yeah, we'll hook you up there, Jojo. And but there was a town called Minnesota. Well, back in the day, there was this bad rich man, so he moved the town of Minnesota to Belfort. And there's really cool. If we could find that little town, I want to go so bad to find this spot where the town was, because I guess there was some really nasty stuff that happened in that town, and even in Belfouche with all the greed and they brought them into work, and then they did what they did back then. They used them and abused them, and so there's a lot of history right there too.
Nice.
Yeah.
I often I ask everybody this just to see if I learn of any new places. Money is no object. All around the world, top 5 places you would go.
Oh my. I want to go to Ireland. Ireland is my number one because I'm Irish and I'm native. I am a mixture. But Ireland is my ultimate goal, and I'm hopefully in 2023. So that's my goal is Ireland in 2023. Um, but in the United States, I do want to go do the Clown Hotel. That I seen it on Ghost Adventures and I shivered right away, so I figured it was a good place to go. Then we're gonna go to the Montana State Prison. Then we had the Nopium in Duluth, but they shut that down because it was just getting too old. Oh God, my list. I do want to do it's called the Guest House or the Grant House in Minnesota. And then because there's so many things close to here I haven't even got to do, but far away I want to go to Sedona. There's that place was just a haunted self. Beautiful, a lot of spiritual, a lot of native grounding there. I would like to do that, and then I would like to what's the name of that damn town? No, I can't think of it. I could see the building. It's a whole building, and oh my God, it was on Ghost Adventures too, and I can't remember it.
Is it a haunted?
No, it was an old hotel, but they kept restoring it, and it still needs a restoring. But the owner died, but then somebody took it over, and they're still trying to restore it. But there's so many ghosts in there. I want to go to that, but it's on my list, and I can't think of it because I'm trying to think of it. That old age syndrome thing. But yeah, definitely. There's so many. I mean, to pick from. The Grant House is another one. I do believe that's in Wyoming. I do believe is in Wyoming, and that would be another one. But there's so many. It doesn't matter. I'd be happy to go anywhere I could. Huh?
If you make it over to the Montana State Penitentiary before next year, not only will I team up with you to go to the Montana State Pen,
Okay.
but we will go from there to Colfax, Washington, to St. Ignatius Hospital, which I can tell you what, I've been in there 3 times, and yeah, it's worth it.
Oh, really?
From there, we'll head down to the old Idaho State Penitentiary, and we could even go to Wallace, Idaho. And there's let's see, the Bordello there. There's
the yeah, the Baradello. Yeah, I've heard of that one.
What was the name of the hotel? There's a hotel down there that Baggins did. We've been in there too. No, it's not the Stanley. Oh shit, what is it?
Wasn't it
It'll
that
come to me.
smaller building? It was like a smaller bordello. It wasn't a very big place.
Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about.
And then there's let's see, I can get us into an old 1931 Masonic temple.
Oh wow.
I was pulled almost completely backward.
Oh,
Graveyards where I was damn near pushed down a flight of stairs.
oh man.
Spokane up here, we had what they called the Great Fire of 1890, and it burned down the entire downtown section of the town. Nobody would send help in. Nobody would get us out. They claim there was no death, but yet bulldozed over 6 blocks into the river to make more roads and buildings.
Oh my.
And we've had some bloodbath battles up here with the natives ourselves.
Yeah. Well, that was everywhere. And the Indians were the only ones in the United States for a very long time. It was an indigenous country, and
We could hit Seattle. I know a couple places there. We could hit Portland. I know some good places in the Northwest and some damn good teams we could work with in the Northwest.
yeah, and there's some damn good food out there too.
It ain't bad. It ain't bad. Nothing like the good old Southern boys, but it ain't
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, we just have the old fashioned good cooking up here.
Very
Anything
nice.
hot and creamy, it's good.
Right.
Oh
And
yeah.
Joe says, so we.
Yep. I think she's already packing her bags to come with. Right, Jojo? And so yeah, let's do that. Send me some info. I think you should send me one of your t-shirts though. I can brag you up.
Once we get them created, I will definitely send you a t-shirt.
Okay, I'll send you a hat. I need your address.
Oh heck yeah, I always rock hats. As a matter of fact, there's a team down in Fresno that I helped create their logo and their Facebook. I made them business cards and everything, and they actually sent
Oh,
me a
cute.
hat with their logo on it.
How cool is that?
Yeah, their name is Forget Me Not Paranormal, and they're just a fantastic team starting out. And
Mm.
I've given them all the advice I can, and they are just kicking ass and taking names in California.
Oh, good deal. You know, like
Man,
it takes time up here because it's still very, very old-fashioned ways. You know, it's very religious still up here, so you got to walk softly and be careful what you say. Oh, she said, "Come to Minnesota for a hot."
yep, he's bagging her bag.
Think somebody's getting a crush.
But
But
most definitely, whether we end up in Minnesota, you guys end up here in the Northwest. I mean, I'm only going to be up here till next spring, and then I'm heading to North Carolina.
oh wow.
But I got to go be with the boys, with the co-founder.
You-
Oh, geez.
well, you really well, my other ultimate number 5 would be I got to hit New Orleans.
Oh, you and me both.
Well, yeah, we'll get some information back and forth and see if I can get a team down there probably closer to the fall though. Cuz it's pretty, we only have like 3 or 4 months of summer here if we're lucky.
Right. Oh man, it's we don't really have seasons. We have whatever the weather wants to do.
Okay, that's Minnesota. We just get more snow than you do.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, it snowed here in July. I was pretty PO'd. I go out to go walk the river and there's snow all over. I turn around, take my happy ass back inside, back in my sweatpants and t-shirt. I'm done.
Oh, bad. But yeah, no, I mean, there's um when you were talking about the little girl with
Mhm.
the humming and stuff, we did a place called Mind Games in Roseau, Minnesota, which is that game you go in there and you figure out how to get out of jail or get a key, or it's like a puzzle game.
Nice.
And so, but it used to be Dr. Delmore's clinic, and in the basement was the morgue. So we got a few things upstairs, but our millimeter went off upstairs, and we're just sitting up there, and then all of a sudden it was going off, and it wouldn't quit. I mean, no matter what I did, I mean, I shut it off, wouldn't shut off. I took the battery out of it. It kept going for another 15 seconds.
Oh,
Yeah, and batteries, it might take maybe 3 seconds and it's done. This was like 15 seconds and it was still going. That
oh,
doesn't happen.
uh,
But when we
Joseph, love ya. Someday, maybe. See ya.
oh, I'll make plans with you, Jojo. And when we went to the basement, we went down there. This was the first time, and when we looked at the recording, there was a little girl, and it said, "I don't know why" or "I don't know how," and it was so sad. I mean, we just started crying because it was that sad. And so we eventually went back and we released whoever would like to move on and pass on. And again, you ask their permission if they would like to. But we had Blinkies in there. Um, her voice is on the recording on our page too, under Mind Games. So that was a very interesting. We had a gong that went off. There was no gong anywhere in that building, but there was an old kiln that you do pottery in that would make
Mhm.
that same sound if somebody hit it. But there was nobody around. There was no rocks that could fall on top of it. There was nothing that could influence it. So that went off. We got a lot of blinky orbs that we call them Mr. Blinky. And but we've seen a couple shadow men. But we were so wanted more evidence of that. But then the last time that we were there, our equipment just would not work with us. It kept shutting off. We couldn't get nothing. So I don't know what was down in that basement, but I just must have been getting frustrated. It wanted its private time. And so we just figured it was time that we'll leave them alone. We'll come back another time when things cool off and see if they'll talk next time. So, and you can see all that on the page. And when we did Transfers Unlimited, that's on there too. We were walking up the stairs and I was fixing some equipment. I came back down and I heard a person say hello, and you can see the look on my face. And then when I did the evidence check, it was a man, and he was saying hello, just nice as day, and
Just being nice and friendly. Hello, how you doing? Welcome to my house.
pretty much.
One of my favorite investigations I've done. It's called the oldest standing building in Hillyard, and it was built in 1894 as a place for the railroad workers to sleep. As Hilliard here in Spokane was its own town until the early 1900s, and was known as the rowdy, bunted death and railroad spot. It was actually the number one spot to get railroad cars fixed in the U.S. at one
Oh, okay.
time. Of course, this building used to be, what do they call them? Houses with women in them.
Oh,
I
bordello.
can't, yeah, bordello. I couldn't think of the name for a second.
It's okay.
Brothel. There we go.
Oh
Thank you.
well.
Thank you. And so we got permission to investigate it. And downstairs, absolutely nothing happened. And we go upstairs, and all of a sudden, I start smelling this tobacco. It was like almost vanilla and cherry.
Oh, nice.
And then you hear this tink, 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 tink. I was like, did you just throw something at me? and you hear it clear as daylight. Yes, I did.
Ooh.
And the hair on my neck starts standing up, and there's no electric in this place. And all we have for an EMF detector at the time is my equipment tablet. Oh, we start walking around and get to this one corner, and boom, did that thing start spiking.
Oh.
And I started getting angry for some reason. I ended up having to walk out of the house. And as soon as I got out of there, I was fine.
Oh, somebody was just attacking you.
Oh, yeah. One of the railroad workers we found out actually died on that property. He got murdered. It was a Chinese worker.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a lot of that back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
I just imagine.
He was quite the menace.
Ugh.
And did you ever see World War Z? Or not World War Z. What was the name of that show?
War V. Okay, I watched a little bit of it. Yeah.
That was filmed here in Spokane.
Oh, okay.
And if you ever see the episode with the old building and the giant Ferris wheel in the yard, if you ever come
that was a long
across
time.
it, that's the oldest standing building in Hillyard.
Oh, okay. I have to go through that again. I'll just look. I'll Google it.
Yeah, there you go. So, what was your favorite investigation you've done to date, being an investigator?
My favorite? Well, I had to say Pencher, and it. But then again, God, Palmer House was good. But I have two different categories. I like my peaceful investigations, and I like my very active ones. My active one, I would say Palmer House, dead center. That is the funnest and most special place to be. I was just there for Halloween. I got out of the shower and I just, you wipe your mirror off, and then all of a sudden I seen a child's hand go like just like this in and out of the picture, and it was a nice dark enough shadow where you could see the hand and then up to the elbow go in and out. I'm like, there's never a camera around when you need one. And then about 3 seconds after that, my lights blew above the sink.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, there's never a camera around when you get the good stuff.
I know it never fails. I mean, I get physically attacked in our first investigation. We investigated this place for 6 months, called the J&R House. That's 3 flip phones and a flashlight. And my equipment tech finally brings in a camcorder, and of course the camera's not on me. And all of a sudden, my leg starts burning, and I'm like, my leg really hurts. And I pull up my leg, and there's a chunk of skin about this big torn out of my leg.
Holy
And it
shit.
looks like it carved like 2 different threes in my leg. And if you guys want to check this out, all you got to do is go to YouTube and type in Spokane Ghost Crew. And we have the J&R House. We have the oldest standing building in Hillyard. And we got a few investigations up there.
Yeah.
But it never fails. Anytime something really cool happens, no camera in sight.
Nope. That's the way it goes all the time. And then you think you got your recorder on, you forgot to hit it hard enough, and you get those excited moments, and then you go shit, and then well, maybe we'll get something better anyway, but you don't get nothing the rest of the night.
Right.
You got to keep it funny.
So the Palmer House, where is that located?
That's in Sauk Center, Minnesota.
What's the history behind that?
Very old, over 100 years old. It has so much history. Just back where when you go in there, They still have the old furniture, the old piano, lots of original stuff. Kelly Freeze, she was on Ghost, yeah, was it no Ghost Hunters, and then she did one with Dead Files, and but there it's so just the style. Just when you walk in there, you can feel the spirit. It's amazing. You walk in the door, you feel it. And but they treat their spirits with love and respect, and you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. And their history is just basically old school. I mean, they go through the trials and of life and death, and um but this place is so amazing. I can't even tell you. Like you said, it all depends on what you want to feel, how you walk in there. You can, when you open up and let the energy flow, you're gonna get wonderful energy back. The people will come out, they will communicate with you. The basement is, they do tours in the basement, which is, I had my ribs poked there, I've had my hair pulled, but in a good, we were talking about sailors and women, and that's when my hair got pulled. So we're just thinking that something was trying to hit on me.
Oh, somebody's trying to say, "Hey, you're coming with me."
Yeah, you got it. And but we call that was the clown room, and there's a very far back room, and I had my camera going on my phone, and I'm just doing a little video, and I did a couple pictures in that room, and in one picture, which was really trippy, here's a man standing. Okay, he was standing here, and the photo flipped like this. So here's the solid picture of the person. It flipped like this. So his body was like over here, and his legs were on the other side. And it's like, we all looked at my camera to make sure it wasn't on panoramic or anything. Well, then the next picture was above him was this fog, and you could almost see a head and shoulder factor at the beginning of this fog. And that was the room I had my ribs poked in. But then when I was taking the video, which we didn't notice later, in the far back, you can see a full figure shadow person standing in the back. So but I'll tell you what, you don't feel anything bad. It wasn't nothing bad there. It was just somebody messing around with you.
Nice, somebody just having a little fun.
Very interesting place. So you will not regret it.
I got to ask you a question. Now, behind you, it looks like to be that there's light. Is that a curtain open, or
that is my big ass shower? I'll show you.
Where I can see the light, it seriously something blacked that light out for about 3 seconds.
This is my ghost shower. So it's a very big shower.
That's a very nice shower, by the way.
And I'm going to try to get to the panel here. Where are you? Well, there's a panel there with knobs and stuff. Mm-hmm. You have to turn 2 of those knobs and push a button before the sauna can even work, because it's created with very hot water. So you need to physically do that.
I'm telling you, I watched something walk right by that thing.
I wouldn't doubt it. Well, there's other noises going on in the background. You guys should seriously listen to the recording we did and jack it up, because you'll see things, you'll hear things. I give you all the
time. We have 1 hour and 1 minute, which we have fortunately only 10 minutes left. I feel like I could talk to you for hours on this thing.
You do. Is there anybody that wants to ask me any questions from your guest? I'll be more than happy to ask them or answer them.
Buddy, you got 10 minutes. Let's fire some questions away. And while we're waiting, I'll go ahead and ask you one of my 2 final questions. What can you tell us you guys are going to do in the future? What's in the future of the Girl Ghost Hunters?
We actually, I will be doing a bar this coming Sunday. It's Breaker's Bar, and it's in War Road, Minnesota. That bar has a lot of history. It's a friend of mine's dad used to own it and work in it for many years, and it's had a couple owners. And the next owner, so much history. He goes out there, Mr. Cron. He's the one that helps take care of the Pension Church. So, and then with the new owner, Melissa, she goes, you know, there's just too many things happening. We got to figure this out. So we're doing a session in the bar, but I went down to the basement for a quick EVP session. And when I listened to it, and here was a lady, and she was laughing at me when I was talking. And then all of a sudden I'm talking, and then it sounded like she wanted to talk more, but you couldn't figure out what the sentence was. I tried everything to jack it up, but I didn't get no information out of it. But there has been a male death in there, but I'm sure there's, because of the surrounding area again, lots of death, lots of war. So we don't know what we're going to be picking up in the bar. The bar is small, but it still has a lot of history. There's still original woodwork in there. The old ham sign that with the bear, that's in there. I mean, that's old for me because that was back in the day. But
I
um,
hear you.
people's older
I
than
still remember. So we
I know
do
we're
have a
dating ourselves now.
right, right.
But yeah, so we're gonna be doing that.
Beautiful.
We got another invite to two more houses. So which are I call them a private personal one. Sometimes if they're having really bad family issues, or if depending, you got to go in there with a psychological mind. You got to figure out if this is something in their head first. Is it family problems? And there, some people with a lot of energy can do that. Bring in things that they shouldn't, but they do because of the energy level. So we have to go in there and figure out what's going on first, and then we can work out where we want to, go from there. I helped the lady out in Belfourche. I didn't go down there, but I listened to a team that went down there, and I got their typed up scenario what happened down there, and they were pretty much putting the blame on the family because they were, I want to say this in a nice way, a little handicapped in ways. I'm just going to leave it as that.
Mentally
And
unstable type thing.
yeah,
Gotcha.
and so I'm talking to her, and I said, well, I contacted the family. I said we need to do a video session, and it's going to be me and some my fellow other teams that are in Duluth and Minneapolis, and we did it. And one was actually in Arizona, and she was a psychic medium. And so we all got together, and we're listening to this family. And, some of us agree that it was a family thing, and they're blaming the daughter with that has some disabilities, and they're blaming her. And so then we all agreed to, this is the problem. And I contacted the family. I said, this is what needs to be done. I said, and I don't want to go into details because that's private again. But
Absolutely.
And so I told them what they had to do to fix the issue. And they contacted me, and they said it wasn't getting any better. And I said, what has changed? Did you do what you were supposed to do? And they go, no. I said, well, get back on the horse is what you're going to do. And actually, they did start making those changes, and things are a lot better. And then I had to instruct them how to use some of our oils, our woods, our feathers. I did a full battery of protection for their house. They did it, and now it's like down to zero. but that took the work of their change, of their state of mind, and what they needed for protection, because they were creating some bad energy too in the house. So you got to analyze, you got to figure it out. You talk to people, and we all work as a team. We might have separate teams, but we can all work together as one big team to solve a big problem.
And that,
Yeah.
well, we have a question from the audience.
Yeah.
Our final question, and this comes from my dearly beloved
Oh.
Peter McCraw. Most unusual experience.
Well, besides being bit in the leg, that's usually unusual. The weirdest thing that I ever happened to me, I walked into a house and I could feel there was bad energy. You could feel it as soon as you walked in the thing. And what I do is I do sit down. I have a full questionnaire. Are you on drugs? Do you do drugs? Family, background, the whole 9 yards. Because if it's a mental thing, we can work with that too. If it's something else, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So right when my partner Jody was setting up some stuff on my left, I got my book and I was gonna sit down and in the chair, and this big white ball of light right at me. Like, you are not gonna be here. This is my home, kind of thing. Well, not your home no more, buddy. We got rid of you. But yeah, that was like the weirdest thing. I never had anything come out and just want to attack me right away. But you got to handle it. You can't be scared of it. You got to say you're the boss. The people's home is their home, and that's it. You know, that's that was a weird one for me.
I bet.
But then we
Okay,
also.
Mr. Is there anything you would like to say to our audience before we unfortunately have to end this wonderful podcast?
Yeah, be safe. Know what you're doing. Again, treat spirits with respect. There's lots of different dimensions out there. You don't know what you're going to be reaching. You could have just a good spirit to the demonic dimension. And please know what you're doing, know where you're going. Do not trespass. You don't know what you're getting into. If it's a rotten home and you're trespassing, you could get hurt or go to jail. Pay attention to what you're doing, because respect the people that own the property, respect the dead, respect those spirits. That's Do it right.
Absolutely. And with that being said, you can check out Chris Reed and her Girls Ghost Hunters on Facebook. Go to that search bar. Go to not go to pages. That's right. Go to pages. Type in Girl Ghost Hunters. Go give them a thumbs up. Check out their evidence. I promise you, you will not be disappointed, you guys. And don't forget, stay tuned for Tuesday as we have Into the Mystic. And Thursday, we have another episode of Tiffany's Tarot. Oh, from your ghost host and Miss Chris Reed. Happy Easter, guys.
Happy Easter.